to unpack General Fani Masemola's testimony at the Madlanga Commission further now. Let's welcome Chad Thomas, who's a crime expert. Chad, a very good afternoon to you. Just having listened, of course, to the Commission since 9 o'clock this morning and the rap that was given there by my colleague Kenny Mapanga, to what extent do you think, General Masemola's testimony today was pivotal to that of Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi's claims of a systemic pattern of political and criminal collusion, especially when you consider that the general statements today are around concerns about just how abruptly the PKTT was disbanded by the police minister?
Good afternoon to you and good afternoon to the viewers. A lot of what was spoken about today by General Masemola is corroborative of what we heard from General Mkhwanazi last week. We hear that there was interference. We hear that there was a request to disband a unit. And of course, the question now is whether or not that unit was disbanded, whether or not it was a lawful or unlawful instruction. And of course, it's going to be the Commission's determination what the precise role of the minister is to that of the Commissioner, whether it is director and policy driven and whether or not the Commissioner is only operationally driven. So it's been a very interesting dynamic. We've seen a lot coming out today in support of what the General Mkhwanazi had to say last week. But there's still a lot that we have to get through in respect of this Commission of Inquiry, especially when it comes to the in-camera witnesses and the whistleblowers, because what we're hearing from now are two very senior decision makers. And of course, we're hearing their version of events. We're now going to have to test this against other information that's going to be forthcoming.
And I want to talk about just the difficulty that Masemola had in responding to what he would have done if he was instructed on that unlawful instruction to disband the PKTT. I mean, he reveals that the Minister Mchunu, did not seek his advice on the disbandment of the task team for reasons that are unknown. But he told, President Cyril Ramaphosa, who said he would then speak to the minister. How do you interpret the lack of follow-through, firstly from the president after, being briefed, but also just the response around that matter from Masemola?
I think today created more emphasis on a timeline. We heard that the president has also been engaged on this. The president was also approached on this, and the president also had knowledge of this in February of this year. And we know the first parliamentary submissions made by Mkhwanazi in March. So it now shows us that everything that led to the July 6th press conference did in fact follow some or other protocol and engagement. And we do know what it's like trying to deal with bureaucratic red tape. It takes time for people to get back. But they waited 7 months after the instruction